Why black people? Why? Just so y'all know, nobody's safe on Black Twitter. Nobody's safe.
There was like this discourse going around about what 4C hair was and wasn't, and there was some woman, and she kept saying like, if you have 4C hair, your hair's supposed to be curly, but it's just like you don't put the right products in it. And I'll probably like link up some of the pictures that she was using.
What is this?
It's dyed, but
is that sea moss?
Stop it.
It looks like sea moss.
Stop it. This is.
I'm just saying, if that's sea moss, then
it's not sea
the
moss.
nutrients that she's getting through her scalp must be like at crazy levels right now. The frequency of that.
Anyways, it's definitely super dense and thick. And I mean, again, when you're at the salon and someone can press your hair and everything, it does come out very silky and straight. So
it looks like someone mixed it with mayonnaise.
Yeah, they're just okay.
I don't know about hair. I'm a baldy, but
yeah.
If I had hair.
All the people that she was using, she was making it seem like 4C hair can be like in this like tight curl thing.
But what is this? Now this looks like something you see underwater in the ocean that's like below sea level. Levels that we've yet to reach or discover. Like light doesn't reach this area.
Through YouTube.
And this right here, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm not trying to crack any jokes at this. I'm just saying this angle and what I'm seeing, one may confuse this for something that may a creature underwater or seaweed.
It's actually just really anti-black because it comes from somebody called Andre Walker.
Kinky hair can have limited styling options. That's the only hair type that I suggest altering with professional relaxing. Okay, well that's definitely outdated. I have heard of this man. He was, I believe, Oprah's hair stylist for years. I do think the chart has been helpful for modern day women to kind of figure out their texture. I think like any template, it's not one size fits all type of thing. There's gonna be some people that fall in between. I mean, with anything, that's just how it works. Yeah, so, right. And to say it's anti-black, while I do think that a lot of black people can have outdated opinions, it's not anti-black to have your own beliefs, and he is a black man. Regardless, I mean, he's not, I wouldn't say this person is white passing. He's very fair, but his features are still that of a black person. Definitely. So he's entitled to his opinion. He's older, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers, I know my parents culturally and everything, you know, there's certain beliefs when it comes to black hair that comes also within the black community. So yeah, we also have to take that into account.
Yeah, you know. The family with the good hair. You know, I can't front though, like, I'm not trying to make any cracks, but I was always considered, you know, the one with the good hair. You know, as you get older, you start to understand, like, ideologies that come with that. And you're like, oh, wow, hey, it still works.
Who's like this white passing person that said that, like, kinky, nappy hair deserves to be, like, needs to get a perm. So like, I would hope that we can move away from using the system, but just for the time being of the system that we have, that's like what I'm working in, because most people are able to like recognize what kind of hair texture they have from his system. And so she kept being like, oh, this is 4C hair, y'all just don't keep your hair well, this is 4C hair. And then a lot of people were just showing up 4C hair, and it wasn't 4C hair, it was like 4A hair. Like,
there are a lot of people out here that try to create try to appear like they have more of a struggle so that you can almost applaud their efforts. So I have met a lot of people that claim their hair to be a certain texture, when in actuality it's not. It is, like she said, a 4A or a 3C, and they're claiming for it to be much further along in the chart just so that it seems like, oh, you keep it so well, oh, it looks good, oh, it's, you know, look at the texture, whatever. So I do agree with her when it comes to that.
These false ideologies, man.
It's very interesting, like creating struggle. Like, you already, I mean, don't get me wrong, 3C, it's already its own thing, but you're not 4C. Some of them aren't even 4A.
Man, take notes. There's more than cup sizes, hair texture as well too, so, you know, take your notes.
And it's very important because, you know, most men are interacting with women in some capacity. So whether it's your partner, sister, daughter, friend, whoever, it is important, I think, across the board to know about hair and know about texture.
And these hair products.
And what goes into it, what works for certain textures doesn't work for others. We all need to know this information as black people.
I feel like there's, even if you Google 4C hair, a lot of the pictures of people is like not 4C hair. There's a lot of lying going on. And I really hate that. Like, if you know something about me, I really hate lying, especially lying to people who are very vulnerable, like the natural hair community, because the whole community, like, I don't even really consider myself to be a part of the natural hair community, and I'll explain why, like, in this video. Boom. So I saw her doing all this little nonsense here and there, and
it was the boom for me. Yo,
boom, Brooklyn.
Look, when they hit you with that boom,
it's Brooklyn.
It's not Brooklyn.
Yeah, it is.
They about to go in.
She's about to go in. It's Brooklyn.
If anyone hits you with that
she's
boom,
from Brooklyn.
She's definitely from from both
All
of them.
right.
But if they hit you with that eye boom, just know she's about to hit you with something real deep.
Picture of me when I first started freeforming, or when my hair was like shorter, and then a picture of me now, or a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this is 4C hair. That's all I wrote. I wake up the next day, like that post went viral.
Is it not?
It is 4C, but I'm just gonna say, I have locks and I totally understand that a lot of people think this is unkept and things like that. So I'm totally aware of the judgment that comes with it. Her hair loose prior to her free-forming her locks, it doesn't look like she was necessarily trying to do anything with it. So I don't know if she goes into explain if it was like she wanted it to be out like a fro, maybe she has a headband and it's just very dense and you can't see it. But from here, I wouldn't take the time to criticize the old photo. I would just say, okay, look at you glowing in your second photo. So, you know, I don't know what the situation with that was, but just from a quick look at the first photo, you would want to know, okay, what products are you using? You know, what went on to create that look.
Yeah, but some of y'all not trying to share these secrets. And y'all see why these girls copy, because y'all not trying to share the gems.
Oh, and like in the end, it ended up getting like 30,000 likes and like loads of reshares and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, wow, like I didn't expect that. And what happened after that? Oh yeah, and then like, so for the most part, like people was really nice about it in the beginning, because if y'all like have ever seen like a post go viral, the way it usually goes is like when a post goes viral or like gets a lot of views, like the beginning is always like really sweet, and then the last like a couple days later, that's when the real hate starts to come. So in the beginning, everyone was like really nice.
Because people hate when you get love. People hate love. There's a lot of people out there that don't have love for their own. So with that, they hate the love and they want you to receive some backlash. But then again, some people are entitled to their beliefs as well too, and they may not believe or see it how you see it, and they might just see another black girl crying out for help. That's just how media and Twitter and all these other outlets have washed it out to be. So it's unfortunate
About it, and then it suddenly became people just like making fun of my hair. But I'm so used to it at this point. Like I make content about having nappy hair.
Okay, so there is a comment from somebody named Chris.
Not me, guys.
This person, Chris I guess, you need a weave. Like, no, she doesn't. While I will say that weaves, they can look great on people, it's still a false sense of confidence. Because if someone were to pull that shit out of your head, or if your wig was to fly off, what does your shit look like underneath? I mean, I hope it's neatly cornrowed and you're not embarrassed, but realistically, you know, you wouldn't be putting that in if you weren't trying to fill some sort of void with your own idea of how you look. And I'm not talking about protective styles. When I say weave, I'm saying like sew-ins and lace fronts and all those types of things that really you're doing the most. You can just tend to your own shit and own in on that identity.
I exist in this world as a real person, so when I walk down the street, people be treating me a certain way, and that's just how I've learned to navigate. Like I get a lot of love. It's always the extremes. I get a lot of love, but I also get a lot of hate. I'm Nigerian, you know, on the content when I'm in Nigeria, like there are certain people who really associate my hair with like being demonic or practicing.
Well, she does have a point there. I come from a Haitian background, and growing up, any long hair or cornrows or dreads or men with piercings, period, was either considered gay, demonic, and things of that sort. It wasn't the best light to be under back in the day. Now, I don't really hear that as much of a thing, but I know it did exist, and I'm sure it still exists.
It's just because things are becoming trendy. You know, like faux locks became trendy, braids and stuff became trendy. So then there's certain levels that people expect. Like I know that I had a cousin that when I tried faux locks before I actually locked my hair, they loved it. And then as soon as they saw me like a year later when I actually had already committed to having locks, it was a completely different energy. And I have a Dominican background, so when I'm in DR, it's now accepted, but before it was really like people really judged you. And even in New York, people still take, you know, they take a second glance of like, oh, what'd you do with your hair? And I mean, mine is not as free-formed as hers, but I didn't go the normal route of locking my hair, so I'm still technically free-formed. So I definitely understand. And I get checked at TSA.
Yeah, man.
Literally.
Boom, boom, boom. More fire.
Designated person of color comes over with gloves,
Flames.
even in Corona,
Booyaka.
to check my locks.
Blow.
Because I must be trying to smuggle something.
Bombastic murderer.
So just saying, while yes, everybody's black, and us who are adhering to these charts and trying to find our hair textures, I do understand where she's coming from, because I do think locks are that subsection of natural hair where there is a bit of a different experience.
Zion.
As we've explained, he's Haitian and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why we're running with this theme.
witchcraft or whatever, which is really anti-black anyways.
I just don't like that she's, not everything is anti-black. Like, yes, we have a lot of issues, but I mean, there were witches getting crucified in Salem. That was a bunch of white people. So I'm just saying, not liking witchcraft, I mean, that's just an archaic.
You know, white folk, they scared of things they don't know.
Exactly, but so are black folk.
Whatever in that water better stay in that water, because I ain't touching it.
The conversation because of the way that like Christianity was enforced through
Yes, I can swim, by the way. I be in that water. Woo! Backstrokes.
No, ow, 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 ow. Yeah, he's one of those people you gotta knock out. I went through lifeguard training and they really were like, yo, you gotta knock the person out when they're flailing like that in the water just to bring them back.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You have to, because if they're panicking like that, they're gonna take you down and you'll both drown. Literally, if they're that frantic, you have to knock them out and just pat on them back.
Ah, so for anyone with anger issues, you should apply to be a lifeguard.
No, don't.
Take your anger out on these
no.
efforts.
Imagine the person's like, yeah, I'm here, just take me back. And they're like, boom.
4C hair is kinky, it's not curly, it's like there's no curl pattern. And I even said, I was like, if you lie and say you have 4C hair when you don't, there's a special place in hell for you. And I believe that, because I feel like it's very mean to intentionally lie and pretend like you have a nappier hair texture than you don't, just to benefit and see profit, because you're actually stepping on black people who don't have opportunities to showcase their hair. This natural hair blog, like a big platform, they have like 106,000 followers. And I'm gonna name names because you ain't about to drag me through the motherfucking mud and think that you're gonna go unscathed, bro. Like, let me tell you the name of the fucking thing. Just give me 1 second. All right, it's like a platform on Instagram called Natural Hair Bombshells.
Natural hair bombshells.
Key indicators, guys. Those are red flags already.
Any of those sites, like literally anything, even the ones that seem like, you know, natural hair bombshells or melanin honeys or whatever, stop. Honestly, that shit is just propaganda. Unrealistic expectations, a bunch of photos from people's profiles who are influencers who have set up photo shoots. Nothing is organic. So you're not even actually getting the content that you think you're even following. You're just buying into a black version of the nonsense that we're already fed. So please, if you do follow any of these crappy sites, definitely get that shit off your timeline. It's a dub.
I would make work about colorism. I've had somebody who's had a bigger platform who is light-skinned screenshot only one part of my work, not the whole thing. Just screenshot it, and then it sends and then their fucking following is colorist, and then it sends loads of hate my way. So I'm always very careful with, and also just like the concept of you creating work and then somebody who benefits from colorism using your work without asking for your permission, and then you getting the brunt of the attack versus like them attacking that person.
Well, I kind of just feel like if you're putting your content out, you can't pick and choose. That's why I was so interested in reviewing this, because there's some parts that I totally agree with her, but then there are other parts where I can just see the bias as, again, she is a darker skinned woman. She does have 4C hair. She has locks. So there's certain things that...
But you make your bed, you gotta lay in it. Once again, you're playing with fire. It's a tough topic to
and
cover.
not only the oppressed get to speak. Sometimes the oppressor also is going to speak. Sometimes the people in between are just going to speak. If you didn't want to have a conversation, then you should just really...
Honestly, you can't put content like this out not expecting feedback. Someone trying to counter your thoughts, you know? It's only fair and right. You put it out there in the platform for these people to critique, to not only just like and love and appreciate, but to also give you a piece of, I don't know, whatever you think you're looking for in this, because I don't know what you truly expected from that video other than reality and feedback, and feedback comes in all forms.
And I notice
good or bad.
With certain people, where I will see the bias is when they always want to tell you exactly who said, which I understand why, but it's like the way she said, Andre, who came up with the curl pattern chart, the key words, white passing, and it's anti-black, a light-skinned woman commenting on my work, and then automatically assuming that woman following is colorist. They could also just disagree with you. So you also have to take that into account. And I think a lot of people get caught up in this where one has to submit to the other, and that's not really the case. I think everything can kind of coexist. Both sides can make both parties aware of the struggles that they're facing. It's different extremes of the same type of experience.
And life is hard at all levels.
Yeah.
Think about it, I hate it. So like I've always been like, okay, if you use my work, please ask me for permission. If you're gonna like put it on your page, I don't mind if you share it in your stories, but when you put it on your page, it often will create more hate for me, and I have to be very, very careful with that online, because like for me to keep doing the work I'm doing, like I have to kind of navigate in like a unconventional way, because like I'm getting fucking death threats. So they didn't ask. I wake up and I see like a picture of myself on the page, and the fucking caption said thoughts. Bro, the comments was the meanest shit I've ever read. Like, and it was just a picture of me. Like, it's a selfie, right? So like, I don't know, like, the comments was so mean. Like, people was like, she's so unkempt, she's so dirty, she's ugly as fuck, like, LOL. Why did that page ping someone say, I'm gonna show you, sorry, not ping, pinned. They pinned a comment talking about I was unkempt. So, like, the page has set me up to get dogpiled, has set me up to get attacked, right?
Don't dish it if you can't take it. That's one thing, of course. But still, there are ways these things could have been handled, and it's unfortunate that she's been plastered and put on a platform for everyone to now throw their stones and say what they want about this woman without understanding the full equation. That's another thing that we have to also understand about social media. You know, people control what they want their viewers to consume. You put out what you want, granted, great, it's awesome, but they're going to take what they want from that, add their own spin to it. That's just how media works. You made your bed, you gotta lay in it. It's unfortunate.
But just on a side note, everybody with locks is not dirty.
No.
And respectfully, there are more dirty people with loose hair and weaves than people with locks.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to upkeep locks, okay? It is a super simple hairstyle on the day-to-day, but let me tell you, when it comes to the cleaning process, when it comes to the styling process and retwisting, and also just day-to-day getting caught on, like my locks are down to almost my butt. Putting on sweatshirt, getting dressed, getting caught in things. It takes a lot of maintenance, no matter how free-formed or not. Don't criticize what you don't know.
One time her dread got in my freaking tea.
I tried to give him a hug, and my whole pile, it was on top of my head, and my whole pile of locks fell into his cup of tea. So then what do you think I have to do? Now I have to go rinse I have to throw out his tea, obviously, but I have to go boil the water, make new tea.
So they put as a selfie of me, she wrote thoughts, and then there was hundreds of negative comments. And it was all negative. And I think that's the part that's hardest is like, you know, I'm make content, so I get a lot of hate for it, specifically because if you talk about things that people don't want to hear, like, you're gonna get pushback for it. So when I make my content, I get hate, but I also have people that come to my defense and say things. So it makes me feel better when like, if someone's like, oh, fuck you, you're ugly, and then somebody's like, don't say that, then it feels like it's a one-to-one. But when you read hundreds of comments that's just all negative about how you look, what you like, your hair, something that is like very spiritual, and it's just like no one is arguing in rebuttal, like, especially because the page had set it up for me to get dogpiled, the page had set it up for me to get attacked. It just put me like, I cried, yo. Like, I was like, whoa, I can't believe how much this hurts me.
It hurts to hear her go through that, you know? It hurts to hear anyone go through that. Just to like share their pain to the world and only to get smacked. You know, it really does. It's unfortunate to hear that and for you to be in that circumstance. However, I also hope you can take components from this as well too. You're on a platform as an influencer, so you influence people to speak up and comment and provide feedback.
Sometimes you gotta take the heat for that.
You have to. You have to take the love, or you have to take the hate as much as you take the love. You have to take it in the same light. It's just better for you within, grow thicker skin. It just comes with the lifestyle. Be able to adjust and understand this may not be the last you hear of this, but continue to grow in your life. Be you, continue to walk in your path. Remember, no one's gonna stop your shine. Like, you create that shine. You own that. Continue to own that and be an example for those influencers that continue to follow you. I'm sure you'll be just fine. That's enough of that video. If you guys want to see the rest of that, we'll drop a link down in the comment box. Let us know what you think. 4C hair, what's your take on that? And
yeah, show us your 4C hair, show us your different hairstyles. I'm here for it. And obviously I'm team locks all day.
yeah,
But
I'm for it too. So make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on that notifications to keep up with the latest posts. And until next time, Slick Talk Reviews.
peace, y'all.